Carolyn Dube here. What's the play on this very sunny day? Well, I'm playing around making some tags. Now, I love it when I have just the perfect color for the background that perfectly matches and coordinates with the foreground. I love it when that happens, and it doesn't really happen by accident. First thing I'm going to do is get a layer of gesso on the tag. Yes, it makes the tag white, but it does something a little more important for this technique, is it's going to give me a very smooth surface for when I add the texture luxe. Well, now the gesso is completely dry and I want to get this stamped image on here. I'm going to be using one of the Stamper's big brushes to get the ink onto the stamp. Now, one of the advantages of doing this is that I can pick and choose what part of the stamp I want to use. Notice I'm not going all the way down to the bottom of the image that's on there. That's going to give me more of a feathered out bottom or ending of those pencils, and you'll see what I mean. See how the end of it isn't just that straight hard line? That gives my stamp a different look than if I'd stamped the entire thing. Now it's time to bring in a little bit of shimmer with the Texture Luxe Pearl. This is going to give it a wonderful shimmer with some color. Now, how am I going to make it colorful? I'm going to use one of the Pitt pens by simply drawing on a non-porous surface and adding in some of that Texture Luxe Pearl. As I'm mixing it together, if I want it to be a little bit thinner, I can just add a little touch of water to it, and that will help thin it out. Now, you can use any non-porous surface to do this. I'm using a transparency just so you can see a little bit better of what I'm doing. And then I'm going to simply rub it right onto the tag. Right over that stamped image, I'm going to fill in the entire background. Now it kind of looks like I don't quite have enough of it here to cover the tag. Not a problem. I'm going to dip my finger in that water, and that's going to let me get the rest of it off of that piece of transparency so that I can get that entire thing covered. The Texture Luxe is now completely dry, and I want to add some more color to the pencils. I'm going to be using the exact same Pitt pen that I used to color that Texture Luxe Pearl to color in the pencils. One of the benefits of doing it this way, of mixing up your own colors of Texture Luxe, is that everything coordinates. So it looks like I just somehow magically happened to have the perfect colors that went together, when the truth is they all came from that pink Pitt pen. Wow, is that a tongue twister? Since the pearl came from that, as well as the pencil color on top of the pink, it's all going to coordinate. So here's what the rainbow looks like with this technique. And as I move these around, you can see a little bit of that reflection, that pearl. It's really hard to capture on camera, but it adds such a wonderful touch when you see them in person. Well, thanks so much for joining me for today's play and letting me be a part of your colorful journey.